Hello friends, now in your standard 11, unit 11, P block elements, lecture number 1. Please read the sentence very carefully because it's a very important. The variation in properties of the P block elements due to influence of D and F electrons in the inner core of the heavier elements makes their chemistry interesting. So this is a very important sentence. What is the meaning of heavier elements? Just to be explained later on, but just you see this sentence, it's a very important. So variation in properties of the P block elements is due to influence of D and F electrons. Influence of D and F electrons, and that's why it is considered as, we can say that in the inner core of the heavier elements makes their chemistry interesting. So here a very important chapter, but here you have to learn, just you see, in periodic table, left side and right side you know very well. Left side we can deal with S block elements, right side and this side P block element is there, in which total how many P block elements are there. Just you have to explain on the basis of group. So here, just you see, group 13, group 14, group 15, group 16, group 17 and group 18 is written. That means what is number group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, you have to remember it. But this group is starting, that is the first element of 13th group is considered as boron. So here boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. This is a, we can say that the group elements according to 13th group. Okay. And this is known as boron family. One family is there. It is known as boron family. Next one is a 14th group. This is also called third group, fourth group, fifth group, sixth group, seventh group, and eighth group. Here, just you see, this is a 14th group, and here we can say that first member of this 14th group is carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and then lead. Okay, this is a 14th group. Now 15th group is considered as, this is a carbon family and this is known as nitrogen family. So 15th group first member is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Okay. 16th group is, and this is known as nitrogen family. 16th group is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. And this is considered as 16th group. First member of this 16th group is oxygen, that's why it is known as oxygen family. 17th group is known as halogen group. Okay, so halogen group first member is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and acetylene. And 18th group is considered as noble gas or say inert gas. It is HENEARKRXCRN. Okay, so this is all about, we can say that, group in which we have to learn here in standard 11, 13 and 14. But here certain, we can say that variation takes place with respect to oxides, nitrates, nitrites, and that's why here we have to learn group 15, group 16, group 17 and group 18 at here. And this is all including in first part, that is introduction. So this is introduction part, and in introduction part just you have to follow certain things at here. And first of all, just to see, electronic configuration is a very easy, but first of all remember, how you remember the name of 13th group? Bal-Gaintal. 14th group Kasi-J-Tile. 15th group Na-Pa-Sa-Sa-Bi. 16th group O-S-C-T policeman. 17th group Fluochloro-I-acetylene. Fluochloro-I-acetylene. 16th group हेमा ने अरबाज को करिश्मा कपूर के साथ जेनोन होटल में रेडोन लाने को कहा. That's what you remember, and it's a very easy sentence, and that one discussed in a group, we can say that in chapter number 3 periodicity also. So first number is this, and just you understand that here in 13th group, 14th group, 15th group, 16th group, 17th group and 18th group, just we introduce our electronic configuration. Why it is called P block element? First of all, this is very important. So first of all, you see here suppose you write down electronic configuration of boron. Suppose I write Z is equal to 5. It is 1s2, 2s2 and here 2p1. Instead of this 1s2, if I write here He core, then 2s2, 2p1 is there. And this is known as outermost orbital. And that's why we can say that here 2s2 to p1 in a general electronic configuration we can say that ns2 and p1, and that's why here ns2 and p1 is here right. So ns2 and p1 is written. So ns2 and p1 is there. Okay, next one is followed by carbon. It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. That's why here ns2 and p2 is there. Next one is nitrogen. Z is equal to 7. He core 2s2, 2p3, and that's why we can write ns2 and p3. This is the outermost orbital containing general electronic configuration. 16th group, and that is first member is oxygen. Z is equal to 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So here we can say that how many electrons enter here? ns2 and p4, and that's why it is written ns2 and p4. 17. We can say that fluorine. So fluorine, suppose we write Z is equal to 9, then He equal to S2 to P5, and that's why it is considered as NS2 and P5. And same way group 18, and there is nothing but NS2 and P6. What is the reason behind it? Because this cell is completely filled. So 2s2 to p6 is there, and that's why it is known as ns2 and p6. So here electronic configuration is there, and just you see last electron entered in p orbital, and that's why it is considered as p block element. It is clear? Last electron entered in a p orbital. Just you see ns2 and p1, ns2 and p2, ns2 and p3, ns2 and p4, ns2 and p5, and ns2 and p6. And that's why how many p orbital is there? P orbital is 3, and how many electron is filled? 6, and that's why your 6 group are there. So 13 group, 14 group, 15 group, 16 group, 17 group, and 18 group. So this is a, we can say that conclusion from this. 6 electron is there. S block contain here only 1s2, that is 2 electron is there. That's why they contain 2 orbitals. Just you see d orbital is total 5. So how many d orbital, how many element present in d orbital? 10. 5 to the 10. Same way f orbital is containing total 7 f orbital is there. So 7 to the 14. That's why we can consider 14 element present in a f block elements. So here you have to learn later on about this group 15, 16, 17 and 18 in your 12th standard. Remember, this is a very important part. But certain thing is required here, and that's why I just give information regarding this. So just you see, electronic configurations, according to that, we have to write atomic number also. So here atomic number 5, 5 plus 8, you add here 8, so 13, 13 plus 18, so 31. 31 plus 18, that is 49, and 49 plus 32, that is 81. This magic number, if you remember, then become very easy. Suppose you do not remember it, at that time you write it 5 plus 8, 13 plus 18, 31 plus once again 18, okay, and here plus 32. So here magic number is there. Same way, suppose you write this one, then this is a 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And then you write down here 13. So 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Suppose you write complete sequence according to the group, then this becomes very easy for you. So here electronic configuration, general electronic configuration, this NS2 and P1, NS2 and P2, NS2 and P3, NS2 and P4, NS2 and P5, NS2 and P6, and that's why here it is considered as p block element because last electron entered in p orbital, and that's why p block element means what? When we can say that in any element in outermost orbital, we can say that ns2 and p12, ns2 and p6 electronic configuration is present, that is considered as p block elements. So this is all about, we can say that p block elements. Now it deals with, we can say that electronic configuration also we completed here. So general electronic configuration is there. So general electronic configuration is NH2NP1 for 13 group, NH2NP2 for 14 group, NH2NP3 for 15 group, NH2NP4 for 16 group, NH2NP5 for 17 group, and NH2NP6 for 18th group. Okay, so this is, we can say, the general electronic configuration. It is a very easy. Just to practice it, so it will become very easy for you. Now, next topic is our, we can say that group oxidation states. So it is also very easy. Just you see, NH2NP3. How many electrons is present? 3, and that's why plus 3. Because they lose this 3 electron, and that's why they produce positive charge. Once again I repeat, in outermost orbital, if electron is lost, it is considered as positive, and if electron is gained, in certain cases it considered as negative. So here NH2NP1, here plus 3 is there. NH2NP2, once again here plus 4, just you see 4 electron is there. NH2NP3 plus 5 electron is there. But just you see, in certain cases they lose 3 electron also, and they gain 3 electron, and that's why other oxidation state is plus 3 and minus 3. Same way, here other oxidation state is plus 2 and minus 4. Okay. In same way, we can say that oxygen is there, so it's a plus 6. But in a certain case, they lose electron. So they lose electron, then plus 6, plus 4, plus 2, and plus minus 2 is also possible. Fluorine. So fluorine is, we can say that plus 7. Total electron is plus 7. So general oxidation state is plus 7. But plus 5, plus 3, plus 1, minus 1 is also possible. Because suppose 9 plus 1 electron they entered, at that time 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. So remember H equal and N equal, and according to that, electron lost and electron gain is occur, and due to they become stable. Okay, so plus 5, plus 3, plus 1, and minus 1. Neon, just you see, this is a group 18. Group 18 containing plus 18 in our book it is written, but it is a 0. Maybe here 0 oxidation state is there. But in circumstances, in certain cases, other oxidation state is plus 6, plus 4, and plus 2 is possible. According to, we can say that NH2NP6, He is 0, Ne is also 0, but here Hc and just another element, they creating certain oxidation states. So here it's very important. So oxidation states is very important here. Just you see, when we grow, just we move towards 13 group to 16 group, at that time just you see that whatever the charge is there, just plus 3 is there. So plus 3 and plus 1, difference is plus 2. Plus 4 and plus 2, once again difference is plus 2. Plus 5 and plus 3, once again difference is plus 2. Plus 6 plus 4, once again difference is plus 2. Plus 7 plus 5, difference is plus 2. Plus 8 plus 6, once again difference is plus 2. It is decreased by 2 units. Remember, it is decreased by 2 units when we grow, when we go in a group, when top to bottom. At that time, just you see, it is a, we can say that oxidation states is decreased by 2 units, and this is known as inert pair effect. This is known as inert pair effect. So it is very easy. And just to see another thing, it's very important. First 2 rows, that is this and this, they are considered as lighter elements because their atomic number is very less, as well as from that atomic mass is very low, and that's why they are considered as lighter elements. But bottom part, just like indium, tellurium, SnPb, SbBi, TePO, I80, XeRn, they are considered as heavier element because their atomic number is increases as well as atomic mass is also increased, and that's why it is considered as lighter elements, and this is a heavier elements. Remember one thing, another is very important. In a lighter element, just we switch on towards next topic, that is ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. So here ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy, both ionization enthalpy and we can say electronegativity. Okay, electronegativity here increase. That means what? In a lighter elements, In a first two row, it is an increase. Boron to aluminum, carbon to silicon, nitrogen, phosphorus. Maybe it increase. Okay, but we can say that here it is increase as well as electronegativity also increase. Remember this one. As well as electronegativity also increase. But here in heavier elements in this just last two row, they containing heavier elements, and that ionization enthalpy is decreased as well as electronegativity is also decreased. So remember this one. This is a very important. And here metallic character also, we can say that metallic character also it is a increase when we go top to bottom. That means boron is considered as non-metal, and then aluminium, gallium, indium, tellurium, they are considered as, we can say that aluminium is metal, but boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, tellurium, they are considered as non-metal. So gallium, indium, tellurium, they are considered as metal. Sorry, this is known as non-metals. First is non-metals. Carbon is there, it is a, we can say a non-metal, but silicon, you know this one, silicon, germanium, they are semi-solids, or say we can say semi-metalloids. Sorry, once again, semi-metals, they are considered as semi-metals. Tin and lead, they are considered as metals. So same way you have to learn it here. Nitrogen, phosphorus, which is known as non-metals. Arsenic, antimony, it's a metalloids. Okay, and bismuth is metals. So here, first row, that is first two row is considered, maybe it's considered as non-metals, another is metalloids, and another is, we can say that, which one? Metals. So here gaining of electron is occur, here losing of electron is occur, and due to that ionization enthalpy is here, we can say that increases, electronegativity also increase, but in a heavier element ionization enthalpy decreases and electronegativity decreases. This trends is shown at here in p block element. Remember, in s block element this type of trends is not shown. So it is due to their different properties, due to, we can say, that arrangement of electrons, due to their ionic size and atomic size. Okay, and this is all about, we can say that, ionization enthalpy, electronegativity. And another term is very important, that this, we can say that, suppose non-metal is there, that means non-metals and metals, these oxides we learn at that time. First two row, once again repeat, acidic or neutral, but these lighter elements containing these oxides are acidic or neutral, but these heavier elements that require oxides, they are basic oxide. Remember this one, they are basic oxide. In terms of oxide, they are basic, characteristic is basic. So remember this one, it is also very important. And another, which is a very important, how ionic bond is formed and how covalent bond is formed. So suppose here we considered metallic compound, or say metallic element, and another is a non-metal. One is a metal and another is a non-metal. And if we join this at that time, it creating, we can say that, which bond? First of all, remember, it creating ionic bond. For example, suppose sodium is a metal and chlorine is considered as non-metal. That's why Na plus and Cl minus, it produces ionic bond. Same way K plus Cl minus, this produces ionic bond. Okay, but suppose we consider non-metals, that means non-metals is there. Why this is possible? Because difference between electronegativity is more. They contain difference between electronegativity is more, and that's why they contain ionic bond. But when we consider any, just you see, first member of carbon and another member of hydrogen. So here carbon and hydrogen is there, and they produce here methane. So methane is there. Here we can say that carbon is bonded with hydrogen with the help of covalent bond. Remember, covalent bond, and that's why it is considered as, here covalent character is increases due to electronegativity difference is very less, and that's why they form covalent bond, sharing their electrons. Okay, so it's a very important part. And another part, here ionization enthalpy is also complete. Okay, this also complete. Metallic character is also complete. Another part, okay, this which we can say that they form different types of bonds. Suppose we consider that here carbon is there and nitrogen is there. So between carbon and nitrogen triple bond is present. Between we can say that carbon also produces double bond. That means C triple bond and C double bond O, that is CO, and another we can say that here C double bond C triple bond C. This type of formation takes place. That means here sharing of p orbitals of one element to sharing of p orbitals of another element. That's why here p pi bond formation take place. Once again I repeat this. This is very important because in lighter elements they do not possess p orbital, and that's why last electron enter in a p orbital. So here between carbon or say between carbon nitrogen there is a double bond C triple bond and C double bond O, C double bond C triple bond C. This type of formation takes place due to p pi bond. P pi bond that you learn in your chapter number 13 also. So this is a very important in hybridization also. So this is very important. And in heavier element we can say that here d orbital as well as f orbital is present and p orbital is also present. Due to that they form p pi d pi, or say d pi p pi, d pi p pi and d pi d pi, d pi d pi bond formation, and that's why they possesses here d pi p pi and p pi d pi bond formation. And this is we can say that you have to learn at here in chapter number or unit number A11 p block element. In introduction part, this other oxidation states is very important. Another terms is also lighter elements is there, heavier elements is there, that is also very important. And just you see this boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, tellurium. So boron containing how many electrons? Here boron containing 3 electrons in outermost orbital, and that's why always remember first member of any group, they are differ as compared to another element according to their properties, and that is known as anomalous behavior that you learn in S block element in a lithium, and also show digonal relationship. Okay, so this all you have to learn it here. So here just this type of metallic character, non-metallic character, as well as just another thing is required. This boron is there when it is attached with fluorine. So boron and fluorine they attach, it gives Bf4 minus. So coordination number is 4. But aluminium when reacts with this fluorine, so AlF6 here minus 3, so coordination number 6, that means coordination number here increases. So this is you have to learn it here. And metallic character, non-metallic character, this coordination number containing, we can say that any questions and different types of here acidic, neutral. This is very important. These oxides are there. Oxides, remember. Oxides. Okay, first 2 rows. The oxides are, we can say that acidic or neutral. So this you have to learn it here. And very important part is electronic configuration. Just to discuss first of all definition, then electronic configuration, then group oxidation state, then other oxidation states, then we discuss lighter elements, then heavier elements, then we discuss about ionization enthalpy, then electronegativity, then ionization enthalpy deals with lighter elements, here ionization enthalpy and electronegativity deals with heavier elements. And due to that, we can say that atomic radius also we can say variation takes place, and that we learn later on in this chapter. But detailing of chapter group 13 and 14 we learn it here. So this is a very important part. Just you write down according to this way, and just anything is remaining, no, maybe all things are completed. And here p pi and d pi bond formation means what? between two elements we can say that p orbital of one element and p orbital of another element, they produces p pi bond. And p pi means what? One element heavier, they possess p pi and another possesses p pi. And another we can d pi is also possible. And this type of formation is known as d pi and d pi formation. Bond formation is there. And they produces double bond. When double bond is there, at that time pi bond is introduced. You know this one. So here, suppose I write here C, single bond C. So here only one sigma bond is there. But C double bond C, suppose I write. So what is the meaning of this? This indicates that this is a sigma bond and this is a pi bond. And here p pi formation takes place. So here p pi is there. Okay, and this is all about, we can say, that introduction part, and write it completely according to your NCERT textbook, and just remember it. Thank you very much.